I never imagined that peace could be so fragile that the simple dream I worked my whole life for could go up in smoke, not because of fate or weather, but because of one bitter woman who could not stand to see me happy. I had bought my little slice of land. After years of saving a modest farmhouse, an old red barn, and acres of fertile soil, where I planted corn row after row, reaching high toward the sky, golden and proud. It was not just food, it was everything to me. It was sweat and work, it was pride, it was my livelihood and my peace. Every morning I would stand on the porch, coffee in hand, listening to the birds and the rustle of the stalks, and I felt blessed. But peace never lasts when someone like Karen decides you are her target. Karen was the head of the HOA that ruled the neighborhood just down the road. She was the kind of person who thought a clipboard gave her power, sunglasses on her face, nose always in the air. Voice sharp like broken glass, she lived for rules and fines and control. Her world was about mailbox colors, grass height, trash can placement. She had no business with me because my land was not even inside her neighborhood. But since my driveway connected to their road, she decided I was under her authority. From the first day I met her, she treated me like an intruder. She told me my tractor was too loud, my barn was ugly, my truck was an eyesore. She even called my field of corn a nuisance. She said it ruined the uniform look of the neighborhood. Imagine that, acres of golden corn swaying in the breeze, an eyesore. The first time she told me to cut it all down and plant grass, I laughed. I thought she was joking, but her face went red, her lips tight. She said, "You will regret disrespecting me," and I realized she meant every word from then on. Letters, fines, threats, they showed up weekly in my mailbox. Warnings about violations that did not exist. Accusations that I was breaking HOA policy. Even though I was not legally bound to them, I ignored it all, kept farming. I kept living, but I saw the rage in her eyes. Every time she drove past my land, she hated that I would not bend to her. Then came the day that burned itself into my memory forever. It was mid-afternoon. The sun was high. The air was dry, the wind hot. I was out fixing a fence post when I smelled it. Smoke, thick, sharp, dangerous. At first I thought someone nearby was burning leaves, but then I saw it, black clouds rising from the middle of my cornfield. My chest went cold. I dropped my tools and ran, and when I reached the field, my heart shattered, fire roaring higher than my head, flames ripping through the stalks with a sound like crackling thunder, smoke choking the sky. My harvest, my whole year of work, turning to ash in front of me. I grabbed my hose, tried to spray water, tried to beat it back with my coat. But the fire was alive, hungry, too fast, too strong. It pushed me back with heat that felt like a wall. I dialed 911 with shaking hands, begging for help. Within minutes, sirens filled the air. Fire trucks racing down the road. Firefighters jumping out, dragging hoses, charging into the inferno. Neighbors spilling into the street, gasping, whispering, filming on their phones. The whole sky painted orange and black. And then, as the firefighters battled the flames, one of them shouted and held something up, a half-melted red gas can found near the blaze. My stomach turned heavy because I already knew what that meant. It was no accident. It was not lightning or a cigarette. This was deliberate. Someone had set my field on fire, and in my gut I knew who. My eyes scanned the crowd, and there she was. Karen, arms folded, sunglasses on face, trying to look calm, but her skin pale, sweat dripping from her brow, her hands fidgeting. She thought she was invisible, but I saw her panic. She thought nobody would connect the dots. But she did not know firefighters are not just water and hoses. They investigate too. And when they traced the scorched grass, they found a trail leading straight toward the neighborhood, straight toward Karen's backyard. The fire chief questioned her right there in front of everyone. She tried to laugh it off, said she had been home baking cookies, said maybe kids started it, said maybe I had burned my own crops for insurance when the crowd started whispering. She grew louder, her voice shrill, pointing at me, screaming, "Liar, fraud, scammer." She wanted to turn everyone against me, but every word made her look guiltier. And when firefighters searched her trash, they pulled out a half-empty pack of matches, the same brand as the burned ones scattered near my field. Her face went pale, her knees shook. Deputies arrived, neighbors watching wide-eyed, some recording with their phones. Karen, the queen of the HOA, suddenly cornered her words, stumbling her excuses. Collapsing, she said the gas can was old. She said wind blew it. She said kids must have stolen her matches, but nobody believed her. Not after months of her threats, not after hearing her complain over and over about my corn, not after people admitted she had said she wished it would all just burn down. The deputies put her in handcuffs right there. The once untouchable HOA tyrant led away, while the crowd murmured, some gasped, some even clapped. But while she faced justice, I faced ruin. My field was gone, black stumps, smoking ashes swirling in the air. I stood there broken, watching firefighters soak the last embers, neighbors shaking their heads at the devastation, and even though Karen was gone in a cruiser, my heart ached because my work, my harvest, my pride was nothing but charred earth. The weeks that followed were hard. Investigators confirmed arson. The evidence against Karen was overwhelming. The gas can, the matches, the witnesses, the trail, the threats. She was charged with arson, destruction of property, reckless endangerment. She tried to fight it in court, dressing in her best clothes, pretending to be the victim, claiming I had framed her. But the jury saw the truth. They heard the neighbors. They saw the evidence, and when they said guilty, her face froze like stone. She could not believe her power was gone. Karen lost everything. She lost her reputation, her position, her money. She had to sell her home to pay fines and legal costs. She was banned from the HOA. She once ruled. The same neighbors she had bullied now turned their backs on her. She became a ghost in a town she once terrorized. And me, though it hurt, though it burned, I planted again, because that is what farmers do. I plowed the ashes, turned the soil, sowed new seeds. Neighbors came to help, bringing tools, bringing seed, bringing strength, because they knew I had been wronged. And when the new crop rose green, then gold, taller and stronger than before, I stood on my porch one morning, coffee in hand, looking at the field, and I smiled. Because Karen tried to destroy me, but fire can never stop someone who refuses to give up. She thought she was powerful, but in the end, she only exposed herself. She thought she was clever, but she only lit the path to her own downfall. And me, I grew back stronger than ever, my harvest a symbol that no matter how hard someone tries to burn you down, you can always rise again.